It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire. And our mission at the end of the day is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you will call the servant. On this episode, we have the one and only Alex and Stacy, and we'll be having a conversation today around building a scalable life insurance business without feeling burnt out. Wow. Imagine that. That sounds pretty cool. But first, let me say hello. Hello, Alex. Hello, Stacy. How are you both doing?
How you doing, big guy? All is well. Thanks for having us.
Hello, how are you
Thank you for being
today?
on the show. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in because without you, well, we don't have a show. So we appreciate you being here. You have a lot of choices and you choose to be with us. If I can ask, starting off, I'd like to just address the elephant in the room. We're talking about life insurance. And can you take a moment, if you don't mind, and kind of share, Alex, in today's world, why are so many folks still viewing life insurance as just something they get so somebody can bury them when they transition and move on to heaven? Why is that still a stigma in the world we live in today? What's your perspective?
Well, my perspective is people scared to talk about death. You know, we don't want to acknowledge it, but it's the truth. Okay, so we born and everybody must transition at some time, and it's a scary thing to look at for a lot of people. But I'm attacking this issue head on by educating people in the community that debt, okay, what it does is it creates financial problems for the family members and the loved ones that they leave behind. So for me, I think it's very selfish of people not to get life insurance because you're just thinking about yourself, okay? You're forgetting about mom and dad, forgetting about the spouse or the kids when you do not put yourself in a great paying out life insurance policy. I think it's selfish, and we need to attack these issues head on. If we really love our loved ones, then we want to leave them with some kind of payout so they can live for at least the next year or two without being stressed.
I like that. We'll get to both you and Stacey in a moment. But for the folks that are watching, we have a number of folks right now that are dualpreneurs. They work a full-time job and they're a full-time entrepreneur. And they might be listening saying, okay, that sounds good. But Shay, I've been hearing rumors, AI is rumors, but I've been hearing rumors that there's other ways you can use life insurance. Can you ask, the one and only Alex to talk about, are there other ways to use life insurance truly other than when I leave here and someone can bury me? And I know there's a lot of things you can and can't say, but can you give us some perspective on that?
Absolutely. So there's three main types of life insurance. Okay. There's final expense, which is for more of the seniors who just want to take care of their burial coverage. The second one is term. That's a life insurance policy that will pay your family out an income, okay, a payout once you die. And the most popular life insurance policy right now is called the IUL, okay, and that stands for Index Universal Life. And what I like about the IUL product is real simple. It has both, okay, Shay. Number one, it's like a savings account on steroids. The IUL policy is the policy that people use while you are alive. All right. So that's one benefit of the IUL. And it also has a payout when the person dies. The IUL is more of an investment tool. Okay. If it's structured correctly, and you put and store away a certain amount every month, that money is invested on the stock market. Okay, but it's the safe side of the stock market, the S&P 500. You will never lose money in an IUL policy. It'll either stay the same or it will grow. But again, if it's structured correctly, in a few years of putting in and storing money in your IUL, you can pull it out in a few years to put a down payment on a car. People are buying houses with their money they saved in the IUL. They're sending their kids to colleges because they first started storing money in the Index Universal Life policy. And again, that's the particular policy that you can use while you are alive, not just when you pass.
And you, thanks for sharing that, by the way. Good educational piece. You built several businesses, even before insurance. But before we get into that, some folks don't know who you are. As famous as you are all over the world, people can find you online. They're like, Shay, who in the LL Cool J is this person that's doing all this talking right now? I have no idea who it is. Right now, they're cooking in the kitchen. Maybe they're fixing dinner. Maybe you listen to us right now on your iPod. And thank you. So, iPod, that's so old, but your AirPods. We appreciate you. Or maybe we're just playing on your computer right now. You're working and we're in the background and you haven't done the research. I know some of you already have because that's what y'all do. Y'all Google everybody before you show up. But take a moment, Alice, if you would. Tell us a little about who you are and your background, how you got started. And then when you finish, introduce the person sitting next to you, Stacy. They're like, whoa, she's there, Shay. Does she have anything to say? Yes. Don't worry. She's the brains behind it all. But back over to you. Take a moment. Who are you? What's your backstory? You know how this goes.
Absolutely. So, thank you for having me here. My name is Alex Miller. And before I got into life insurance, I scaled the largest credit repair, okay, credit repair call center in America for 10 years. I had a great 10-year run. Um, I built sales systems, AI systems before AI was popular that helped me to scale the largest credit repair call center in America. We was bigger than Lexington Law Firm. That was our only competition. And I was based out of Houston, Texas at that time. And I had the call center in Houston, and my customer service team was out in the Philippines. In that 10-year time, at my peak, I had 600 employees all under one roof right there in Houston, Texas on Westheimer Road. So I did that for 10 years, made plenty of money. On record, we've helped over 10,000 people clean up their credit, get access to capital, funding. They was qualifying for brand new cars, brand new houses, and access to business loans that they wouldn't normally, okay, be eligible to receive. But because they came through my credit repair system, I helped a lot of people. And at some point, after 10 years of being in that business, then the credit repair laws changed. Okay. Credit repair became a regulatory minefield. So I decided to pivot at 45 years old, middle age, and to get myself into life insurance because I've already had so many customers. And it's another great product that really helps people. I'm all about changing lives, Jay. Right? In the credit repair space, I would meet people who wouldn't qualify to get financed for a bubble gum. But after 90 days of our credit repair process, we'll send those people right back out to society. And they was getting, like I said, houses, cars, credit cards, and loans. But now I'm more focused on using fintech and AI to help scale the life insurance call center. And I moved back home. I'm here now in Atlanta, Georgia. Stacey and I right here in Buckhead, and together we're scaling and recruiting for the life insurance agency that we're building.
Well said. We'll get a little more of that background. Thanks for sharing and being so transparent with us. Stacy, you're sitting there, you're nodding, you're smiling. Folks want to know, well, who is this person and what has her journey been like in the as an entrepreneur, especially in the life insurance business?
Okay, I've been in the life insurance game a couple of years now, still learning and growing. But the most part that I really like about the insurance is educating people on the living benefits of life insurance. Most of the time, when people hear life insurance, they immediately think about death. That's because they're not educated about the living benefits part of it. So that's what I'm with the life insurance.
And Stacy is also the number one life insurance agent in our new agency called the Circles of Giants. She's a great recruiter. She helps people to study. Okay, this is somebody who can take almost anybody as long as they can read. Stacy will take them through our pre-licensed life insurance course. She studies with them. She mentors people, and in less than 2 weeks, boom, there's another person who just passed their final exam, and we put them on the sales floor, and we help change lives, sell a lot of insurance, make plenty of money for the agency and also the agent, like Stacy and her reps that's in her circle.
I love it. I love how you brought up the business side of it. So for entrepreneurs out there, a lot of folks are dualpreneurs. Shout out to all the 9 to 5 folks out there that want to be 9 to 5 millionaires. So you're working a full-time job. You might be raising your hand saying, hey, I've been looking at something to invest in, looking for something to do differently. If you had a moment, either Alex or Stacy, and say, you know what, here are some of the systems that we believe entrepreneurs need, but we use it in our business to help the business to really grow. Because that's the biggest fear. A lot of folks are working 9 to 5s, and maybe they invest in a vending machine over here, and then maybe they go try to be a coach over here, and then maybe they try something. But they're like, you know what, this life insurance thing, I've been a little afraid of it. Since Alex built businesses and Stacy's helped folks, what's 1 or 2 or 3 systems that the life insurance business have that you teach folks so they can build a profitable business?
Absolutely.
I know that's a loaded question, but hopefully you have an answer.
Not an answer. I'll tackle it as best as I can. So, when it comes to a life insurance agency, people, people are going to be your biggest assets, right? This is a people's business. This is a business that you have to be able to talk, assert yourself in. The tools that's needed is actually getting your life insurance license. That's number one. That's the biggest qualifier, right? Like I said, I built and scaled the largest credit repair company. We made over $20 million doing that. And we're tracking to do even bigger and better things in life insurance. But people are going to be your biggest asset here. Getting them to pass that test, coaching them, training them, keeping them motivated, so they can make each and every phone call to get closer to their dreams. Number two, when I do my recruiting and interviewing, I just had 3 interviews this morning. Goal setting for that person. You have to be able to meet people where they are, right? When it comes to goal setting, life insurance is not for everybody. You have to have some kind of hunger. You have to have some kind of hustle about yourself. What we do is real simple. We use a lot of AI technology in our call center. Back in the day when you was a salesperson working in a cubicle, you had to manually dial 100 people from your phone,
I remember
right?
those days,
And
man. I remember those days. 100 calls a
tell
day.
me
That's what they
about
said. Get 100 no's. Yeah.
it. Exactly. But now what we're doing is we're using fintech and AI. I have an automatic phone dialer. Okay. It's called Ready Mode. And what Ready Mode does is it helps you to contact more leads faster. For example, our AI phone dialer, what it does, it calls 10 warm leads at the same time. And when AI realizes that someone has picked up and answered the phone, that call is immediately directed to an available agent. Okay. So now, back in the day, when a sales rep, some of the best reps will make 1 sale a week or 2 sales a week, and you thought they was doing good. We have agents right here on the other side of that door that's doing 2 and 3 sales a day. Okay. We got young men and women right now on our sales floor,
Mm-hmm.
right, Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
that's bringing home 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, up to $50,000 a month just sitting down on that dialer. So we definitely changing lives, helping people to get access to capital they would never normally receive. And you don't even have to have a college degree to do this. You just got to get licensed in your state. And Stacy can help anybody to download our pre-license course and take them through that program.
I like it. And Stacey, you talked about your joy of working with individuals. He talked a little bit about what they have to have, the hunger. Take a moment, if you would, talk about maybe just consistency. My father used to say the best intentions don't equal the best results, right? So one of the things people struggle with is how do they be consistent day in and day out? What do you say? I'll say first, Stacy, and then of course, Alice jump in right now. But consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? Well, consistency. So talk about how you help folks be consistent.
Well, by jumping in on Zoom calls daily and keeping track of changes in the within the insurance companies, within the IMOs, and all of that, just staying consistent and on top of educating yourself about the business itself. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And one of the things you mentioned, I thought was important, Alice, is you talked about they had to be in the people's business. When people hear sales, sometimes they see sales as a dirty word, like the last thing you do in life. If you can't do anything else, you go be a salesperson, and that's not true. I believe selling equals
Not at all.
service. You start off talking about being in the people business. Talk about how you've changed the paradigm shift. You know, you think of a car person as a used salesperson, an insurance person as a used salesperson. Shay Brown calling you as a salesperson. That's not true. You're calling to serve. So talk about how you really drive that culture at your business, that people are there to serve, not try to convince or persuade someone to buy something they don't need. So talk a little bit about that part there. So if you're out there right now and you're thinking sales, oh my gosh, I gotta go. No, he started a whole conversation about he's in the people business. And I think that was very key. Talk about that for a moment, if you would.
Absolutely. So look at it this way: as soon as we come into this world, we learn how to sell. Just think about the little kids when we was a little kid. You go ask mommy for something, right? Sales is a skill. Okay, you go ask mom for a piece of candy. Mom says no. What does a kid do? They turn right around and go run to the father and ask the dad the same question so they can what get what they want. So sales, um, it is definitely a skill, but when you come to our office, I teach people different sales strategies, different sales tactics, so you can increase your closing ratio. Now, when I take somebody and we bring them in the office, let's say they want a job, they want to become a life insurance agent. This is the first thing that I tell them. There's two different business models when it comes to life insurance. Now, the most popular business model is like an MLM type of business model. There are several different companies that do that. I can't say any names, but what they want you to do is go and recruit people, but nobody has a license and nobody's writing policies. The bottom line is, Shay, in life insurance, the only time money is getting made is when a policy is written. Okay. Now, us, on the other hand, the Circle of Giants, because that's the name of the agency, life insurance agency, we're not that business model. We're the other business model. We are independent life insurance agents. Whatever book of business that you close and you build up here with the Circle of Giants, let's say you wake up one day and you just don't like Alex Miller anymore, right? You just hate my guts for some reason. You are an independent contractor here. Okay. You will be able to leave with your entire book of business. We are the type of agency, as an independent agency, we have the best commission plan in life insurance. Our comp plan is very, very generous. We start agents off on day one at 70% comp compared to our competitors. And these are some large conglomerate companies. But we are one of the fastest life insurance agencies that's growing, especially right here in Atlanta. We start our agents off at a 70% comp. You're not going to find that nowhere else in no agency. You normally have to be signed to a life insurance contract for at least 2 years and write a few $1 million in business to get to 70% comp because most agencies start you at 25%. I'm very generous with that because, like I said, Shay, I believe in changing lives. I believe in helping people. Now, to piggyback on the first part of that loaded question, okay, for me, I tell my agents this every morning and every time that I can. We are providing a service. And you better believe we have one of the best services out there on this planet. And that's called life insurance. We got car insurance, we got health insurance, we got mortgage insurance. But what about your own life, right? People need life insurance. We are tired. Stacy and I, we look on social media all the time. So many people are so popular on television. They got this, they're showing this material thing, they're driving this car, living in this house, wearing these nice, beautiful pieces of jewelry. And then, boom, when something happens, what happens? The family is on Instagram and Facebook doing a fish fry to bury that person. And that's embarrassing, right? Or starting a GoFundMe account. As if in our community, we really got to educate ourselves, okay, on leaving a legacy behind.
Mm.
So many other communities, when you look at them, when somebody transitions and they're at the funeral, they're not even crying, Jay. They're not. Why? Because grandma and grandpa then left them a couple million from a life insurance policy. But when you look at other communities, and I hate to say it, especially my community, we over there crying not only because we miss grandma and grandpa, but we got a lot of debt to pay, and a lot of us have to struggle, and it's sad, and I'm tired seeing it. So I've dedicated my life, and Stacy too, to helping educate the people about life insurance and letting them know you don't have to feel guilty, okay, by putting a loved one in a policy. If your loved one love you and you love your loved one like you're supposed to, then you don't want to create debt after they pass. You want to create generational wealth, tax-free money. It's
Mm-hmm.
tax-free. And if we continue to educate people and get this word around and tell people it's time to remove the fear, we all gotta go. This is a conversation most people is not ready to have. Okay,
Yeah.
but we're calling over 3,000 people a day, following up with them who requested to speak to a live agent. So life insurance, it is growing. More people are taking a look into it. More people are getting educated about it, and we're helping to create more legacies, especially in our community now.
I love it. Said so well. And you talked about legacy. You said legacy about 6 times in your conversation just now. I'd like to transition as we come down the home stretch because you believe in legacy, you support legacy. You're a part of something called the Rise Tour Experience with one and
Yeah.
only Dr. Shavana Heron Johnson. And you've been a driver behind that, promoting that, talking about what's happening in Atlanta, letting folks know that they should be there. You talked about legacy, but take a moment and talk about why you believe that collaboration is so important. You're collaborating with Shavana and being part of this. So talk about how you collaborate with other folks. You don't just operate in a vacuum. You collaborate with other folks and you support other folks doing good things. Why is that so important to you? Why is collaboration and partnerships so important to you? Because you don't have to do this if you don't want to.
Thank you. So I'm glad you brought that up. I am so grateful for Dr. Shavana, for accepting my partnership and me, opening up my warm market and the tools, right, and the people that I have access to for this tour. Shavana is doing a great and a wonderful thing. She has a great story. And the reason why I decided to partner up with her is because I too share a very similar story. You're talking about somebody that made millions of dollars in life, a few bad things happened and lost it all, right? But here I am today, sitting in a penthouse office call center in Buckhead, paying over $25,000 a month just for the rent. You know, the quality of our problems, oh my God, have gotten so much better. So Siobhan and I share a lot of our past together, and like-minded people should be together. There's one thing to become successful and become a millionaire, but it takes a totally different person to do it twice in one lifetime. She's did it twice. I've done it twice, and people need to hear that story. If you lose it, you don't have to kill yourself. Okay. You don't have to hurt nobody. You don't have to relapse on drugs and alcohol. What you have to do is forgive yourself and keep on going and do it again. So I like her story. I'm inspired by it, and I want to be a part of anything that sister has going on to help the people, right? And then here's what happens when you do partnership, you're cross marketing. So her following will get to know the value that I bring to the marketplace. And every time I promote an event for her, my following, right, is given access to the value that she brings to the marketplace. Just like this podcast right here, I'm going to promote it and make sure that more and more of my 500,000 followers, right, real followers, know and create some awareness about the number one late night business show with my brother Shay. That's what it's about for me.
It's an honor and a privilege. And Stacy, before we close out, I'd like for you, if you have any words, the folks that are watching right now, let's just say they're on the fence. They're like, man, sounds good. Because in a minute, Alex is going to give folks how they can contact you. Sounds good. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I've tried some things before that just didn't work out, but I'm still in. Like, I'm all in. Like, I believe I can be an entrepreneur. I believe I can serve other folks. I believe I can make a dollar and a difference at the same time. If they're on the fence, what would you say to that person that's considering reaching out to you guys right now? What would you say to that person?
If you have a drive or a heart for helping people and you want to get some money in your pocket, that would be the motivation that I would have for people. But you definitely have to have a heart to want to help people
Yes.
to be in this industry.
Well said, Alice. I'll give you, tell them first how they can contact you, because folks might be listening and saying they have two questions. Number one, is he looking on bringing on any agents? Sounds like you are. So what type of agents are you looking for? She's giving a snapshot. And then number two, what should they do next? Like, is there a phone number? Is there a website? They're like, you know what? I just want to talk to somebody. I think it sounds good, but I like to talk to someone to see if it fits me. Maybe they're in their 20s. Maybe they're in their 30s. Maybe like Shay Brown, in their 50s. And they're like, oh my gosh, is this for me? What would you say to that person that's listening right now? Go ahead and share, please.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm not big on Facebook. I barely check my inbox on Facebook because I think it's just a lot of hometown family members and friends. But I'm active on Instagram. My handle is my name, Alex Miller Official on Instagram. Alex Miller Official. And you can also call me directly at 832-312-0224. We're here to do two things, folks. Number one, teach people about legacy, putting them in the right policy that they can afford to create generational wealth. And number two, Stacy and I are national recruiters for the agency, the Circle of Giants Life Insurance Agency. To pass the pre-license course and get licensed, it's a self-study course. We can send you out the link. Stacy will send that link out to you. It normally takes about 10 business days to study and go take and pass your final exam. And I want you to know what's on the other side of passing that final exam. We have people on our sales floor right now, right outside of that door, is bringing home $10,000 a month by life insurance phone sales. Okay, we are not the traditional old school business model that sells life insurance. We don't even have business cards. So no, you don't have to go out there and push yourself on total strangers hoping that you can get somebody to buy a life insurance policy. That's not us. We have a call center environment where we will give you access to tons of people that initiated the conversation first. No cold calling. Every person you call on our call floor, our sales floor, they initiated the conversation first. It's called a warm lead. All you have to do is be licensed in order to put a policy on them. And every policy, on average, the commission is about $900. And we got people on the sales floor that's doing 2 and 3 policies a day. So this is definitely a high-end six-figure sales job. Okay. And if you take the chance and join the agency, I will not let you drown. Stacy and I will support you. We will coach you. Okay. We will train you and make sure that you're eating. Okay. You're making money and you're helping a lot of people. And we're found right here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Buckhead.
Well, let me say two things. Number one, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I have a chance to have eye-to-eye contact, and we're meeting through the power of these fiber optic lines today. But we'll get a chance to shake hands and break some bread this coming Saturday at the Rise Tour Experience. Thank you both for being here. Can't wait to connect with you again soon, man. Thank you, Stacey, for being here, and thank you for being out there and making things happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, the viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. As I said before, without you, we don't have a show. So I never get tired of reminding you, every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing really, really well and you're going to that next level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is you get a fresh start today. You get a do-over today. If you woke up this morning, today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, I'm out. Peace. Thanks a lot, Alex. We gone, everybody. We'll see you all on the other side. God bless. Bye-bye.